What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the Brown Gent. As cryptocurrency values just continue to go up, well, maybe not today, but on average, they've been doing very well. Most people's portfolios, I can't imagine people are in the red. Most of you should be seeing tons of green, tons of profit, and as that happens, and as there's a ton of money on chain, sometimes money that's earned way too easily for some people, right? Because you've sort of speculated on the right things. What has happened is the influx of scammers and ways to separate you from your money continues to expand. And in this video, I really want to help you find out sort of exactly what to watch out for and just sort of, in essence, have you being a little more aware of what's going on. So that's what I want to talk about in this video. Remember, guys, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not even a security advisor. Please do your own research before you make any sort of decisions, especially around investments. Now, I mentioned this before, but literally, like, one of the worst feelings in this space, it's one thing if you lose money to your own stupidity. And, some will say, well, falling for a scam is stupidity, right? But the reality is, at one time or another, your guard is going to be down because the reality is people are way too trusting, right? If we were in the jungle and you had a ton of predators, you'd be more on high alert all the time. And I think, those are the instincts that you'll have to build when you're in crypto. I keep telling you guys, this is a player versus player game. No one's here to save you. No one's gonna have your back. I mean, I do, but like I don't really know you, right? And I don't really interact with you that way. But the mere fact of the matter is that most people are looking to increase their bag and they don't care what happens to you. And that is probably the biggest problem with crypto is there's so much money to be made. And the greedy people, as have always existed, want more share of the pie than they're getting. And because of that, they're okay taking it from you or from whoever, and they don't care how it's done. Now, what this is not about is about meme coins. So, for example, Pro the Doge, famously known for turning 30,000 into 3 million back to 30,000. He basically bought a pre-sale, put 10K in, got $129. Now, obviously, I asked, is this a April Fool's joke? No idea. Apparently, it wasn't. But I'm not here to clown on him. The whole idea here is, once again, there are other ways you can lose money in crypto that's not a scam. These are like basically influencers, pre-sales, all that other stuff, the meme coins, because any idiot can make a coin, right? Any idiot can do that. But that's not what we're going to talk about in this video. So the first thing I want to talk about before the first example is you're likely in Discord. Most people who are in this space have a Discord account. You have a Twitter account and a Discord account. I'd say if I was to create like a basic crypto farmer influencer pack, and maybe I should make that tweet. I'm sure somebody else will do that after this. But basically, it would involve a Twitter account, it would involve a Discord, it would involve some sort of private room subscription or some meme coins and whatever, right? Well, basically, what happens is when you're in Discord, and anytime you have anything go wrong, there are vultures waiting to pick you apart. So what I find in Discord, and this is actually why I have a private group of my own, is when I first started in crypto, everybody who responded to anything I asked, 99% of the time they were a scammer. Sometimes they were helpful, sometimes they were real support, but then you get flooded with DMs from a bunch of scammers. So what I want to show you is an example. So earlier today, I made a comment that, hey, will I open a ticket in EtherFi on March 26th, and no one's responded. So they got back to me really quickly, to their credit. And while they were doing that, I got a DM from EtherFi support. Now, I bring this up because I know people who have fallen for these. In fact, the reason people do this kind of stuff is because people have fallen for this in the past. So I instantly go, hey, I'm going to goad this person in to like billing me the script so I can just post it in this video because I was already going to do it anyways. So I actually DM'd them after they added me to say, thank you, finally. Wait, how can I assist you? Are you there? Because remember one thing, right? What I want to build in you is the sensory acuity, right? Most people, they're not going to be so eager to help. Like, for example, they'll help you if you're asking. But in this case, this person, every time I didn't respond for like 30 seconds, would tag me. And here's why. They're probably afraid that somebody else, another fake support person, saw my Ethify message and was like, you know what? If I don't get their attention first, someone else is going to take my money and I'm taking this idiot's money, not somebody else. That's how these guys think. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to sort of say something and I'm going to basically try to make myself a high value target. So this guy actually buys in. So I'm like, oh my God, I got so much ETH. No one's talking to me, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh, you know, I apologize for the delay. So many users. What issue are you having? They always try to make it very generic, right? It's so funny because these scammers know nothing about the platform. If these people were smart enough and they knew to be like, hey, like, which of our products are you having issue with, and then give some examples, then you'd actually build confidence. These people are so damn vague and they're so uneducated that they lack the basic understanding of how to scam people properly. Like literally, my biggest fear is if somebody who actually has a brain decides to do this kind of stuff, because they could be a lot better at doing it, because they would know exactly some of the things to say to build confidence. Now, none of this builds confidence, right? This is a very like sub 50 IQ scammer. Let's just be honest here. So I basically said, well, I use someone's referral link. It doesn't reflect the website. I'm this close to moving everything. You need to help me right now. You need to help me right now. So I say this stuff and they're like, okay, cool. They want my wallet address. And the reason they want my wallet address is they want to know if I actually have money that's going to make it worth their time to go through this, right? Am I doing this for 5 cents, $5? So I sent them the wallet that I shared with you guys on the screen. All of a sudden, this person's like, oh my God, okay, cool. What wallet are you connecting from, right? So once again, what I want to get through here is why they ask these questions. I ask why does it matter, but I know why. They want to make sure that I don't go to some fake website and go, well, I don't have the wallet you're saying, so I can't do it. So in this case, I just answer with a non sort of answer because I wanted them to basically like give me the template, right? And the template is always something to this extent. You're going to see something like this, which is, well, don't worry. It's some issue, blah, 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 whatever. They say some crap that like literally makes no sense. And they're like, don't worry. We have something. We have just a solution for you. So I'll go and they're like, to fix this issue, wallet connect, blah, 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 blah. Obviously looks sketchy. Does that look like an Ethify link to you? So the reason I'm going through all this right here is I'm like, guys, when you see this stuff, use your brain. Does this sound like Ethify? Not only would Ethify support and none of these protocols ever message you, they would never DM you, right? But when they would they send you to something that's completely off base? Probably not. So just remember, it's not just one thing, it's a confluence of factors, right? Like my recommendation always is go through the official means and only chat in public, unless you're using their ticketing system that's actually within their Discord. Do not join a ticketing system for another Discord. In fact, what you'll see when you ask these questions sometimes is someone will post, oh, here, join this ticketing thing, because they realize that people aren't responsive to DMs, but they're used to doing ticketing systems. Once again, the ticketing system has to be within the Discord that you're in. And the other thing is, you also want to make sure, like, hey, you don't connect to websites or anything that are not the official website. Do you understand? And to do that, obviously, you bookmark it. So this went on for a little bit. I, went through all this, and part of it was I wanted to waste this idiot's time. So I'm like, oh, I have one more question about that, right? And it's like, oh, it's a quick fix. Let me know if you complete the steps. Go ahead. I'm like, is that okay? Yes, we will never ask for any personal details or ask to confirm any contracts or transactions, but they want me to go on and sign a transaction at some bullshit. So I go, how do you live with yourself? Trying to scam people out of their money? And I'm like, basically, listen, look, I hope, someday something happens to you, you get the punishment, and it's not going to be enough. And I also like called him out and basically said, hey, you know what? Thank you for being dumb enough to give me your script. Enjoy being a bottom feeder. And then the guy spent a bit of time trying to convince me he's not a scammer. I'm like, dude, come on. I'm sure you're that stupid, but I'm not that stupid. So that's one example, and I want you to be aware of this, okay? The next example is you'll get random DMs. So you'll get a DM on Twitter, and they'll always want to like offer you a job. First thing, I don't want a job anyways, but they'll always look for like ways to get people involved. In fact, some decently smart people I know who are down in their luck will actually fall for this stuff. Because remember, the idea with scams is to try to build comfort and find a way to get something malicious on your end. In this case, what they'll typically do is they'll try to get you hired as a project influencer, hired as a project, whatever. They'll give you some beta testing version of their game or something. You download it, it downloads malware, and they drain your wallet that way. They take control. This is why I tell you guys never download anything. And also, please, just like, I mean, this person randomly just messaged me, hello, dear. Like, what am I, a woman? And then, just like, it's just like all this stuff is copy paste. Even if it wasn't, even if it was some really polished professional person, I would be like, look, I'm not putting anything on my computer that is not like Microsoft Office, Word, whatever, or an official program from an official site that I'm getting. I'm not getting anything from these people. Another way you can also vet, which, this should be enough, right? Don't download, don't do this stuff. Remember, most of these people are looking for people who are down bad, which is why this actually works even better in bear markets or recessions, because they'll steal whatever little money you have. Next thing here is I go to his profile. And I notice July 2009, right? And I'm like, this person never actually made their own post. All they ever did was retweet other people's posts in a bid to look like they have engagement. Once again, very poor effort indeed. Okay, so what do we say so far on Discord? Don't let people DM you unless you know them personally. Talk to the official people who are hired. And by the way, there'll be people who are trying to fake being them, and you can actually see because they're usually different colors and they have the right tags. Sometimes the fake people will put Discord tags in their bio, but they're not associated with them. And you can see that clearly if you look through Discord. So be very, very careful. So that's the second one. The third one, and this is more related to Linnea Park, don't download things. The reality is, here's an example of one of the quests. To do this, I have to go and download something on Steam. Now, Steam is probably safer than most because they have a sort of confined environment. But why would I download anything on a computer where I am doing crypto transactions? It's just not worth it. It's not worth it for 20 LXP. I know a lot of people are like, hey, I don't care. I want the LXP. But I've talked to a lot of people who have downloaded something one way or another, and then your wallet gets drained randomly. And like, that's it. And by the way, when your wallet gets drained, if they sort of have your seed phrase or whatever, you have to not use it anymore. Or you have to make sure you check out if there's any sort of transactions that you've done that have given access to all your funds, right? So I'm just going to open up another website for you guys just to share exactly what this looks like. And my favorite to do this is actually called Revoke Cash. You can go in here and you can type in your wallet address. And by doing so, you're able to see what approvals you have. And if you need to revoke them, you go to the chain or whatever, right? So that's a way to diagnose it. The next thing is, for example, I'm using Pendle as an example, but looking at Twitter. So a lot of scammers go, well, there are people who are stupid enough to be in a rush. And remember, most of the time, the scammers get you when you're in a rush because you're not thinking. You're trying to get multiple things. You're not like focused, which is why I tell people when you're doing airdrop farming, do less and focus more. And in this case, Pendle Finance sort of had their little second round of the ENA campaign for Athena Labs. And then Pendle, which is a weird Pendle address, right? You thought that was everything? You were wrong. Something is cooking. So this is actually not a bad tweet. In fact, this is a tweet that I'm going to suspect they caught some people. This is like just a trap, right? Here's a very easy way to know. Number one, I follow. Okay, wait. Oh, oops. Once again, it's embarrassing. I thought I followed him. What the hell? Yeah. So, anyways, they should have been followed, and then they're followed here, and you go down here, and they're not followed. Do you get what I'm saying? That's the easiest way without you having to squint and look at the various characters. And number two, anything that's like specifically like time based, the next 24 hours will be eligible. Really? Like Pendle just decided to do that. Like no protocol will do that. We'll put a time restriction. I know Hava's doing it, but for the most part, like you'll never see a restriction that is real from a real website or protocol because they won't. And in fact, most of the time, like if you're Pendle, right, you would never be doing this. You literally never would for one big reason. You'd want to be like, hey, like we got something big here. And that'd be a huge announcement. They'd use the marketing opportunity. So that is pretty much that there. Now, let's say you were foolish enough and you click the link, okay? I'm going to do this here. I don't want you guys doing it. So I clicked the link. Let's see what happens over here. So, you see this? I have an app on my computer that prevents this. So, I go to Pendle.finance online. It's a suspected wallet drainer. Well, I am not going to go on it. Now, a couple things here. The first thing is, I know some people just are curious and they're like, well, I'm never going to confirm the transaction. So I'll go there. And when you go to these websites, anything you click on will basically open up, sign or connect your wallet and sign. And then they connect their wallet, they don't sign. But here's the problem. And this is where it's caught some people. If you set up, like, let's say you have a MetaMask transaction or something, and you go and you don't sign it, you close it, and then you go into another transaction, that signature request is still there. So you may forget and you may sign it by accident and lose all your funds. So please, 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 I know you're curious. Don't mess with this. Do not go in here. Do not try to open and see what it looks like and say you're not going to do it, because you set yourself up to accidentally do it. For this reason, I'm not even going to click on proceed here anyways. You understand? So I love this app. It's called Wallet Guard. I've been talking about this for quite a bit of time. You saw one example in field. Just remember, it's not 100% perfect. So you want to do as much as possible to create barriers, right? So in this case, you saw, it'll tell me if there's some sort of sketchiness that I'm coming to most of the time. In fact, also, I can go in here and I can do a scan to see like where my approvals are. So, the revoke cache I showed you, by hitting the scan button, it'll let me know if there's anything I should be wary of, or if there's like wallet apps that are out of date, because sometimes there's some exploits and stuff. And very new is locked assets. So what they've done is, for example, this is very recent, they've introduced soft locking. So for everything but Ethereum, because Ethereum is used as gas, they allow you to select any specific tokens or whatever. It'll cost you 0 gas, by the way, right? Because it's not done at the smart contract level, but they will prevent you from sending any of this stuff. So you can select, for example, a Pudgy Penguin, lock it up, and there you go. Right now, the feature's only on the ETH mainnet, but it will be expanding. I think it's like really cool idea, because once again, it makes it so you have the asset and you're unable to actually send it to anyone by accident. So I think that's really, really cool. Now, if you're interested, by the way, one more thing I think you should do is have your hardware wallet. I don't believe in having your a hot wallet that uses a seed phrase, because that stuff was already on the computer at one point. When you do it with a ledger, those keys never see the light of day. So the next thing as well is if you Google websites. So it's not right now, but they used to have a sponsored ad for Kamino Finance. And in that, if you clicked on it, it would take you to a fake website. My wallet trigger did not trigger for that when I tested it last time. But I know it's fake, so I didn't do anything, right? But basically, you want to avoid Googling. What you want to do is any website that you use, you want to make sure you bookmark it, and you want to go through the official means. So go to the official Twitter. Now, if you're like, I don't know what the official Twitter is, well, then you go to the website if you need to. Then look for their Twitter button. So in this case, I'll go to Kamino Finance. And I'm going to scroll all the way down, I believe, to Twitter. Like it's right here. So I click Twitter, and Twitter will likely open up with Kamino Finance. I take a look here, right? What's this? Is this fake or what? What is this? Hold on a second. Check this out quickly. It just sketched me out. I should be following it, right? I thought I was just following it right now. Yeah. We got Kamino Finance here. Oh, sorry. So this is the decentralized app. But basically, you can use the Twitter to basically figure out like, is this legit or not? And if not, you can choose to go whatever. But like you see here, not followed by anyone that I'm following. So that's very, very important to know, because once again, it can flag stuff that's sketchy. The next thing is, if you ever go and say, hey, I want to find out about an airdrop, and you type into Google, once again, avoid it, because you'll find like Medium articles that are created and it will destroy you. So in this case, I think this one got pulled down, but basically this is a step-to-step guide to the Wormhole airdrop. Let me click on this button. And when I went here earlier, basically what happened was it literally was like, it tells you a lot of good information, and everything except for the airdrop link was correct. So the airdrop link took you to some sketch website, obviously, And that's why, we reported it and it got taken down. But once again, you want to avoid this stuff. And finally, seed phrase. Everything you do here, if you do all this right, but you screw this one up, it's bad. If you have your seed phrase and you either take a photo of it or you show it to somebody or you have it somewhere that people can access, then anytime your funds can be gone. So if you're not certain, if you can't 100% say that your seed phrase is not known by someone else, well, that means you got to change your wallet. So that's basically pretty much all that I wanted to get to today. If you want more sort of guidance on all of this and make sure your security is top notch to help prevent all this stuff from happening to you, and also having like the live streams where we go through this on a regular basis, check out the private group, the Web3 Secret Society. So with that being said, I want to thank you all for watching. I want you to, if you wouldn't mind, share the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel. And until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.